Hi, today I will show you how I use my Eclipse to upload my Python project to PyPI repository automatically. I just submitted the latest revision of this particular module to GitHub. Now I wanted to upload the latest version of this project to PyPI as well. What I do is I open up my setup CFG file, I increase the version number of the project, and then by right-clicking on the project folder, I just go to build project and then just watch. If you look at the console, it started creating the source distribution folder. And if you look at the Project Explorer, you can see that this folder got created. It was not there a moment ago. And we also have an EGG info folder created. Alright, now it started uploading it to PyPI. Alright, there you have it. And now that this folder is gone, EGG info is gone. Now let's check if pinmon is really available. Okay. Yes, it is. So it's version 1.4. See, it's already on PyPI. So now I will show you how I have this set up. If you're using Eclipse, basically all your projects will have build and clean actions. But they mean different things based on what kind of project you have. For example, in this libpinmon project, which is written in C++, when I built this project, it combines the source code into an object file, right? It compiles it, basically builds it. And then when I clean the project, we know that whatever files or folders got created during the build process get cleaned. And if we go to the properties of the project, on the left side you will see the builders section, and inside the builders section you will see a list of actions. In this particular case, some are enabled, some are disabled, and you can notice that they can be reordered up and down. This is important. So the order of these actions are important. And some of these actions get run during a build, and some of them get run during a clean, and some of them are run during build and clean. Okay, so we will get to it in a moment. Now let's close this C++ project. And now let's get back to this Python project, okay? In Python projects and also in Perl projects, you can also build the project and you can also clean the project. However, by default, these actions don't do much. Let's go into the properties of this Python project. And then if we look at the builders, well, right now you see 4 builders. However, by default, when you install your PyDev editor, you have just one builder. And this is a built-in builder. You cannot edit, you cannot remove it, you cannot reorder it. Oh no, you know what? You can actually reorder it. Yeah, my bad, sorry. Yeah, but you cannot really remove it. If you try to remove it, it will give you a warning. So this is an automatic builder. Just leave it alone. But these builders, build distro, upload to Pipi Org, clean, are all created by me, and they're named by me. So what they do is, let's take a look at the build distro builder. If you click the edit, you will see that it's just invoking a Python interpreter inside the project's root folder with these arguments. And we can also look at the full command line, what the command line looks like. So that's what it looks like, right? And we know that if you've been creating source distributions, you will know that this will just create a dist folder, right, with the source code in the archive of your project. Now, let's look at the other tabs. In the refresh tab, you will see that it says refresh resources upon completion. What that means is, once this command is run in the command line, Eclipse refreshes my project folder automatically for me. Why? Because it's supposed to create a dist folder, and my Project Explorer view must change. If I don't have that clicked, I would have to refresh this folder view manually just to make sure that that dist folder got created, right? So it's better just to check refresh resource upon completion. If we go to the environment tab, it's empty. And now if we go to the build options tab, this tab is very important. Okay, so we can see that allocate console is ticked. It means I will be able to watch what's happening. It's not important, I mean it's not necessary, we can just uncheck it, but I'd like to see what this build distro is doing. And also here, this part is very important. Here I have it during manual, I have it run during manual builds. So what happens is, it runs only and only if I manually check or choose to build this project. Not during auto builds, okay? And not during a clean or not after a clean. So that's it. Now let's look at the next one, upload to pipi.org. So as I said, the ordering is important. So first it builds the distro, and then this action is run. Let's take a look at this action. Again, we have it execute a Python interpreter inside the root folder of the project with these arguments. If we look at the command line, you will understand that this is a command to upload the contents of the dist folder, which was created by the previous action, to PyPI. Now let's look at the refresh. So refresh is not ticked. It means in the Project Explorer window, nothing really changes. So that's why there is no point of refreshing it. In the environment tab, we will see, as usual, it's empty. But in the build options tag, it's the same thing. We have it allocated console, and then we run it during manual builds. Now let's go to the next one. This one I named clean. Now let's take a look what it does. I have it execute a simple batch file. So this is a very simple batch file. All this does is it removes the contents of the dist folder and EGG info folder. That's all it does. I mean, there is nothing exciting about it. And again, it gets executed inside the root folder with absolutely no arguments. If we look at the command line, this is what the command line looks like. It's very simple. If we look at the refresh, again, I have it refresh the view because this action is supposed to clean up my dist folder and EGG info folder. So I wanted to make sure that after this action is complete, those folders are gone. So that's why refresh for me was important. In the environment tab, it's empty, there's nothing there. And in the build options tab, this one is important. I have it run during a clean, okay? And I also have it run during a manual builds. So if I clean it, it gets run, okay? So from all these actions, only the clean one gets run when I pick clean. But at the same time, the clean action also gets run during manual builds as the last action. So basically, after uploading is complete, successfully by the way, it gets cleaned. And another note is, if any of these actions fail with an error code, it stops. The next action does not happen. So it's really useful here. Now, what if you wanted to create a distro folder but don't upload it, okay? And then don't clean it. You could do that, right? Now it builds the distro but stops there. Or we could have also done inside the clean, we could have done this. So it doesn't run during manual builds, it only runs during a clean action. So now if we build the distro, if we build the project, so look what happens. All right, the dist folder got created and EGG info folder got created, and inside the dist folder there is a gunzip file. All right, and then it just stopped. I mean, it didn't upload, it didn't clean up anything. All right, now if we go to the project menu and then do clean, it will clean it up. You also have an option of creating an external tool configuration, which I do here. What I usually do is I create my dist folder first using the build command, and then I don't get it upload automatically. Instead, what I do is I come here, and as you see, there's an upload to Pipi action. There is an external tools configuration. When I click that, it uploads it automatically to Pipi. So this is what that tool configuration looks like. Again, there is a Python interpreter. It's executed inside the root folder of the project, and with these arguments. If we look at the command line, this is what the command line looks like. It's basically the same command line as I have configured inside the build action. The same thing here. There is no refresh necessary, and what you could have also done during the build process is, let me show you. You could have done a unit tests. For example, first you can run unit tests. If all of the unit tests pass, you can do a build distro, and then you could do upload to Pipi and then clean up. So that will really speed it up even further. Yeah, also don't get me wrong, I mean, I don't find uploading to Pipi that difficult. I mean, I could have done it in the command line, but I code very rarely lately. I probably get back to Eclipse once in 2 or 3 months, and then by the time I have some work to do in Python, I already forget how I uploaded to Pipi the last time. So in my case, it's really useful. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to look it up. I mean, all I do is I just do build, and then I know it gets uploaded automatically to Pipi. I hope this tutorial was useful. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section. Thank you.